The name of the book is The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. This book was written by John Boyne, a an Ireland writer that was born in Dublin in 1971. He studied at the prestigious Trinity College and became a very famous writer, which has written several books, novels specifically. But the most famous one was The Boy on the Pajamas. And this one became worldwide known because it was published through the New York Times best-selling collection in 2006. This novel tells the story of Bruno, a 9-year-old German boy living in Berlin during the World War II, who was taken from his home in Berlin and forced to move with his family to Poland after his father, a Nazi officer, was promoted to commandant in the Auschwitz concentration camp. From his bedroom window, Bruno sees a camp enclosed by a wire fence where people wear striped pajamas. He became friend of a boy of his age named Shmuel, who lived in the other side of the fence. Bruno didn't understand why Shmuel and the other people in the camp were forced to live there, and he doesn't understand what his father was doing at that camp. But as a little boy, exploring and trying to make friends, one day Bruno decides to explore the fence and meets Shmuel personally. They become friends, and Bruno visits Shmuel every day. As Shmuel was skinny, dirty, Bruno started bringing some food and playing games with Shmuel. So they become friends. But one day, Bruno heard at his house that his family was moving back to Berlin. He has a mix of feelings because he was feeling sad because he was going to leave behind Shmuel, but he was also happy and very excited to go back home to his normal life. So, this being said, on his last day at the camp, Bruno decides to help Shmuel to find his father, who, as per Shmuel told Bruno, was gone missing. So, Bruno, thinking that it was mandatory to wear like a strip pajamas to sneak into the camp, he puts on a pair of strip pajamas. Bruno, neither Shmuel knew that Shmuel's father was already dead, so they start looking for Shmuel's father at the camp, but unfortunately they are caught by some of the guards and they were taken to the gas chamber. What a traumatizing experience for those kids. Neither of them understood what was going on. They were scared, and but they didn't scream. They were just scared. So the doors of the gas chamber were closed. The lights went off, and Bruno Schmuel, being scared, hold tight their hands, and they died together. What a traumatizing story, correct? But besides that traumatizing situation, I think that the message in this is basically the friendship, the innocence, facing the evil, and how being innocent can lead you to do things that unfortunately you don't know if they are correct or not. I can pinpoint some of the things that I think that are the main messages in this book. As I mentioned before, the innocence facing the atrocity, the evil, the conflicts. Second, also, the dangers of blind obedience and ignorance. Also, that is very important to feel empathy and human connection because that's why Bruno approached Shmuel because he need to have human connection with someone of his own age. Also, um, let's say the consequences of dehumanization. I think basically is that what are the consequences of being dehumanized? Because his father, he didn't, Ralph was the name of the father, he didn't care about the other people's child, the Jewish child. But when the disgrace knocks his door, he felt how devastating the consequences of what he was performing just for being obedient. He was performing to other people. Also, their fathers, their parents, Bruno's parents, fail in taking care and protect their children. Why? Why they didn't notice that he was missing every day at the same time, where he was going, what he was doing. So they failed to protect Bruno. Is it like very choking and conflictive. So basically, it's about friendship, it's about being human, and it's about being empathetic with people. The book has 230 pages. The main characters, as I mentioned before, was Bruno, which is the one telling the story. Shmuel, that was the Jewish boy. Ralph, which was the Bruno's father. Elsa, which was Bruno's mother. Gretel, which was the Bruno older sister. And as I mentioned at the beginning, the story take place in the World War II between specifically between 1942 and 1945. I has been always interested in this kind of story. I am a fan of the Holocaust stories. Um, After I saw Schindler List, I think that cruelty um, is beyond understanding in some cases. And we're still living in a world that cruelty is still being beyond understanding. Thank you so much.